Hi, I'm Deb Schuler. I'm the current president of the Friends of Cherry Valley, and we welcome you to the Cherry Valley National Wildlife Refuge. We're here today to let you know about our headquarters tract, which is open to the public.
Hi everyone, this is Jared Green, Wildlife Refuge Specialist for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service at the Cherry Valley National Wildlife Refuge. Today I'm taking you on a guided tour of the Back 9 Trail at the headquarters tract. The trail begins behind the headquarters building and adjacent to our outdoor restrooms with a long and moderately steep incline. One of the great things about the trail here is that we have several interpretive panels that will tell you about the habitat types and the wildlife that you're seeing in front of you. Now, during the winter, these may be covered with snow or ice. That just gives you an incentive to come back and visit us in the warmer weather. So one of the many reasons to come visit the refuge in the winter when there's snow on the ground is because it's a great time to look for signs of wildlife. You can see in the trail here that in addition to the human tracks that we're seeing in the snow, there are also a lot of wildlife tracks. We've seen deer, coyote, and fox on the way up here, and there are many more to be found out on the refuge. One of the things that you'll see when you're visiting this refuge property and other refuge properties are springs or first order streams that are making their way down from the ridge and into the Cherry Creek, which itself is a tributary of the Delaware River. Up here on our left is a tee box, which, along with the cart path that we're walking on, is one of the few reminders that this place was once a golf course. And that's hard to imagine when you look at the rest of the landscape and see how natural it is. So here we can see another spring that is making its way down the hillside towards the Cherry Creek. And it has actually created a small pool where a sand trap used to be when this was part of the golf course. This pool is spring fed and also fed by the rainwater. And although it does not dry up because it is spring fed, it does not have any fish. And so this is a great spot to look for frogs and salamanders in the spring when they come out to lay their eggs.
I'd like to share with you one of my favorite locations on that tract. And it's the highest point where when you turn around and view the refuge, you can see all it has to offer.
So along the top of the trail, you'll notice the upland forest habitat that we are walking alongside. It's made up mostly of deciduous trees, which lose their leaves, and is very important for mammals and forest breeding birds. Up here on our right, you'll see a gazebo, which is a leftover again of when this property was a golf course, but it is a terrific spot to stop for a rest and to take in the quiet and solitude and the nature while you're visiting. So you'll notice here that we have an interpretive panel located underneath the power lines that are running through the refuge property. And that is informing you on the importance of the edge habitat that can be found underneath the power lines. It's a rare habitat type where the forested mature habitat meets the early successional grassland or brush habitat. And it's very important for certain species. In addition to the interpretive panels, we also have several of these trail maps placed in certain locations along the trail so that you can always know where you're at. So here is our tree tunnel, which is made up of evergreen trees. This is obviously a remnant of when the golf course was here. We decided to leave it as it is a favorite spot among many of our visitors, and the trees themselves are not doing any harm to the native ecosystem. So now we are entering the Riparian Corridor of the refuge located alongside the Cherry Creek. You can see right here there is a logged cross vein structure that we created this summer with the assistance of the Broadhead chapter of Trout Unlimited for our stream restoration project, which is aiming to create better habitat for trout, other fish, macro invertebrates. So this is a great spot to look for fish that are in the creek and also watch for bald eagles, which are flying overhead and looking for fish to catch for a meal. Right here we have a water quality monitor for a project that we are doing with the assistance of East Stroudsburg University to monitor the health of the stream. So the blue structures that you see here are tree shelters, which is part of a Riparian Corridor restoration project that we are working on with the Broadhead chapter of Trout Unlimited and the Broadhead Watershed Association and various other community groups. The trees themselves were donated by PPL, and we are planting these trees along the Cherry Creek to slow down runoff, increase water quality of the Cherry Creek, stabilize the stream banks. So from the bridge here, we can see more evidence of stream restoration projects that have been carried out over the past few years. We have several interpretive panels that you can read to learn more about the restoration projects themselves and how the projects are improving water quality and improving habitat for aquatic wildlife. And so this concludes our guided tour of the Back Nine Trail at the Cherry Valley National Wildlife Refuge. This 1.7-mile trail is directly adjacent to the Front Nine Trail, which is also 1.7 miles. So if you do both trails, you'll have done over 3.4 miles of hiking. We're finishing up here walking past our grassland habitat, which is a unique habitat here in Pennsylvania and very important for various mammal and bird species. You can see our headquarters directly in front of us here, and this is where the Friends of Cherry Valley will do educational programs. We are coming here now to our outdoor restroom where we are going to wrap up our trail. We hope to see you out here soon.
I'm Jill Thatcher, the treasurer of the Friends of Cherry Valley. Right now, when it's snow-covered in the winter, I always have cabin fever and really want to get outdoors, and this is really perfect. You get such a feeling of tranquility when you get out in nature and feeling a part of that web of nature. There's nothing like it.